What's up, guys? I'm Mason Sapesky, and welcome to this episode. This is actually a special episode. I meant to film this a couple days ago. I took notes of this on August 23rd. I'm going to cover up the information, but if you want to see the date here, I can show you just to prove that I'm not like a cheater or anything. But August 23rd, I filmed. When I meant to film this, just didn't get around to it, but here we are. And the reason I mentioned cheating and stuff is because this video is about 5 players who I think will have their draft stock rise this year, and 5 who I think will see their draft stock fall this year. So as you know, sometimes I do scouting and all that. I've watched these players over the past year, and these are just guys that I think will see their stocks rise. Like where they are right now on the draft board will be lower than where they are at the end of the year in the draft in April. And there's 5 guys here where I think they are now on the draft board will be higher than where they are when the draft rankings come out or in April when they're picked. So as you guys all know, guys like Jayden Daniels and Joe Burrow were not hyped up for, say, going into their last years. They kind of came out of nowhere. And look where they are now. Meanwhile, there's some guys who have just vanished. You look at some players, like I remember, let me go back and look. There were a couple of them. Kalen King, he was really high on the draft board. He fell really bad because he didn't have the best years. And then he was the 4th to last pick by the Packers. Sorry, I'm just trying to get these draft rankings to pull up some more examples for you. Another key guy here, Spencer Rattler. He was really high a couple years ago, fell drastically. Kedon Slovis, at one point he was 10th on draft boards, really fell down, and now he's not even considered in the league. Well, he's on the practice squad for the Texans. Trying to find some more examples of these kind of guys. Sorry about this. There were a ton, I think, in 2022. I know it didn't work out entirely, but Kenny Pickett was a perfect example. He was like supposed to be a 4th or 5th round pick before that year. He was ranked 22nd according to NFL Mock Draft Database for that year. D'Eriq King, he was like ranked 10th on that board at one time. He was ranked going into that draft 325th. So there's a lot of risers and a lot of fallers. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So that's all. So these are 5 players I think will be risers. And then after that, we'll get into 5 I think that will fall. Right now, I'm going to go on the website and see where we are, where they're at, so that we can keep track of this. And now it's time, first off, without further ado, for my 5 risers. The first riser, ranked number 43 on mockdraftsimulator.com, NFLmockdraftdatabase.com, is Jalen Milroe, the quarterback from Alabama. I think Kalen DeBoer is going to get the most out of this guy, and I think he's going to see his draft stock rise tremendously throughout the year. Milroe is going to rise, similar to how Michael Penix did last year. So Milroe is definitely a riser, in my opinion. The next riser I have for you, ranked at number 35 on the draft board, is North Carolina's Omarion Hampton. I know they played last night. I love the way he plays. He's really athletic. He runs hard. Someone like him is who you definitely want on your roster if you're an NFL team. So Omarion Hampton will see his draft stock rise throughout the season, I think. I have him as one of my risers. The third guy I have as one of my risers is tight end out of Iowa, Luke Latsey, who's ranked number 51 on the board. Iowa has had a very successful run of tight ends. Sam Laporta with the Detroit Lions, TJ Hawkinson with the Vikings, Eric All. I know he's just playing in the preseason, but it seems he has some strengths with the Bengals. George Kittle with the Niners. So I was a good run of tight ends. And if you're drafting Luke Gladzy for your team, if you draft whoever drafts Luke Gladzy after he's done with college, will have a tight end of the future, and he's going to be picked high. You're going to see his skills on full display throughout the season. So Luke Gladzy is one of my risers. Another riser of mine, the interior lineman out of Georgia. Here, where is he? What the freak? Sorry, guys. So I guess he's not even on here. It's insanity. Oh, here is tackle out of Georgia, Xavier Truss, who's currently ranked 242nd. This guy is going to be a special part of the Georgia line this year. He's going to make a tremendous impact on that line. Xavier Truss, he's going to be drafted much higher than 242nd. I'll tell you that right now. You'll see how special he is as the year goes on and on and on, but gotta love Xavier Truss, my guy. So I think he's ranked way too low right now. His stock will rise tremendously throughout the season. And last but certainly not least, this player is ranked rather high at 15 on this, second best edge rusher, but I think he'll see his stock rise into the top 10, possibly even the top 5. I think he's better than James Pierce Jr., the other edge rusher ranked ahead of him, but the guy I'm talking about is Penn State's Abdul Carter. Abdul's a very special, talented player, and I think he's going to light it up this year. I'm eager to see what he could do, see if he could take the Lions defense to the next level, which I think he will. I think he's, as I wear Pittsburgh, if you could all tell, but I like the player. I like the player, regardless of the school. I like the player, and he's going to be good. He's going to be real good. Don't be surprised if Abdul Carter is a top 5 draft pick. He does have some Nick Bosa elite edge rusher qualities in him, so be excited for sure if you're Abdul Carter, because your stock will rise tremendously. So my 5 risers, to recap: Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe, North Carolina's running back Omarion Hampton, Iowa tight end Luke Gladzy, Georgia offensive tackle Xavier Truss, and Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter. Now here are my 5 fallers. The first faller, this guy is hyped up. I think he's being hyped up for literally no reason. The school he's at has just been mediocre for football the past couple of years, getting all this hype, and it's going to turn out for nothing. The guy I'm talking about is Miami quarterback Cameron Ward. You're going to see his draft stock fall tremendously throughout the season. It's not even going to be funny. So I think Cameron Ward's stock is going to fall for sure. So don't buy into him. He's ranked right now as a second-round pick at 59, a late second-round pick. But I don't think his stock will fall to like a 4th-round pick this year. So I'm not real high on Cameron Ward, that's for sure. Another guy I'm not real high on is Ohio State's TreVeyon Henderson. With the addition of Quinshon Judkins coming over from Ole Miss, I don't think you're going to hear a whole lot about TreVeyon anymore. I think Quinshon's going to take the bulk of the work. TreVeyon's just going to be that third down guy. He's not going to get a whole lot of action, so I think his stock's going to fall big time this year. Definitely a guy who is not going to get a lot of hype, and rightfully so. So TreVeyon Henderson's a faller. The next guy is California's Jaden Ott. I haven't seen much of Jaden Ott ever because I'm not like a Pac-12 person. I will see him more so now because he's in the ACC technically with Cal. They come to Pittsburgh October 12th, so I'll see him in person at that game. So definitely something to keep an eye on there, but he's ranked 81 right now. I mean, the ACC is tough, and I think his stock's going to fall. I really do. So, number 8. At 81, California running back Jaden Ott, his stock's going to fall. The next guy I think his stock's going to fall is he's currently ranked 5th on here. I don't see how he stays at 5th unless he lights it up throughout the year, which I don't know if he will, is Missouri wide receiver Luther Burden. I think Mizzou's overrated going into this year, to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to even make the playoffs, so that's way too high for him. I think they had one breakout year last year, and yeah, I think Luther Burden's definitely going to see a stock fall. Number 5, he's ranked number 5. I don't think he's going to go up much more than that. So Luther Burden, Missouri wide receiver, is one of my followers for sure. And last on the list is Kentucky linebacker Jamon Dumas-Johnson. He's ranked 99th. He's not going to be as dominant now that he's not in Georgia, I believe. So I don't think it's going to work out for him ultimately, leaving the Georgia Bulldogs to go there. So yeah, that's definitely going to be a move he regrets in the long term. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So anyway, that's all I have for this video. Before I go, I just want to say my 5 followers again. Ranked number 59th, Miami, Florida quarterback Cameron Ward. Ranked number 44th, Ohio State running back Travion Henderson. Ranked number 81, California running back Jaden Ott. Ranked number 5, Missouri wide receiver Luther Burden. And ranked number 99, Kentucky linebacker Jamon Dumas-Johnson. Those are my 5 followers. Be interesting to hear yours, so if you have any, comment below. In the meantime, have a good one, take care, stay safe, and as always, peace. See you guys around.